the Aussie kitchen, folks. I'll stop with the Australian accent, and I should say good evening from the Aussie kitchen, folks, because in this film today, in the Australian kitchen, I'm going to be reviewing 3 Queensland craft beers. So I'm in Woody Point, which is a suburb north of Brisbane in Queensland, and I thought I'd check out the local craft beer scene. So I've been to the local bottle shop. I've got 3 cans and I'm going to review them for you. The first can I've got is a limited release. This is from Brouhaha Brewery, who are in Baringa in Queensland. And this is a Brouhaha West Coast IPA at 6.4% ABV. This, as I said before, is a limited edition release and is a West Coast IPA style. So what do I want from this? Well, I really want it to be a decent West Coast IPA. I want it to have the qualities of the West Coast IPA in terms of the smell, the taste and the appearance. And I want it to be a delicious beer. At 6.4%, I'm sure it will be. Let's find out. So let's open it up. I'm pouring today into a Bruegel style glass. Let's see how this appears. Got lots of life in it. Smells good. I can smell it as I'm pouring it. It's got a nice colour to it. Slightly darker than I expected it to be, possibly. Let's just look at that for a second. Right. So in terms of smell, it's got a lovely hoppy smell to it. It's got that definite West Coast IPA smell. Now, does it tell me what the hops are that are in this? So this is a West Coast IPA with aromas of citrus, grapefruit and pine, presenting with a full mouthfeel and sweet malt character, balanced by some hop bitterness. So I'm definitely getting the hop and the malt on the smell. It doesn't say what hops are in there. Anyway, let's have a taster. That's very good. Now, it's more bitter than I expected, and it's more bitter than a West Coast IPA usually would be. But it's actually very delicious. It's got a lovely flavour to it. The maltness and the sweetness from the malt is definitely there. But the overarching flavour is the bitterness of the hops, which has come through before the malt. And I expected the malt flavour to come through first and then the hops to come in. But it's actually really lovely. That is, I could imagine, a nice summer drink, or we're in Aussie winter, which is like British summer, essentially. Excellent. Yeah, this is a really, really good beer. I'm going to enjoy this tonight. So the first one's been a success. So Brouhaha West Coast IPA, limited release. So I'm lucky to get the limited release. I'm happy about that. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I'm going to enjoy this one. I'll catch you on the next beer very shortly. Cheers, folks. Evening from the kitchen, folks. I've got another Aussie craft beer for you today. This is from Aether Brewing in Queensland, and this is called Oaked Black IPA. It's quite a stylish can. It's got a nice sort of image on there. It almost feels like it should peel off that, like a picture. And it does say on it, Art by Daniel Bibby, midnight, film still. So yeah, so this is Aether Brewing Co., The Art of Craft, Oaked Black IPA, 6.7%. I'm quite interested in this. So an oaked black IPA, so I can imagine kind of, there's 3 different things going on here. There's the IPA element, there's the black IPA element, and then there's the oakedness going on. You know, there's a smorgasbord of flavours that could come out of this, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to get, so I'm just going to shut up, open it, pour it, and let's find out. There is a distinct lack on the can of marketing blurb, which is sometimes healthily refreshing, so it's not telling me what it should taste like. It's a funky West Coast IPA kind of smell. Yeah. It doesn't smell like it's going to be a black beer. Let's see what it looks like in the glass, and it's definitely a black beer. So I'm pouring into a Bruegel. So nice level of carbonation, good head. Let's get that all in there. And I think we can all agree that that looks very nice. Nice and creamy. So let's go for a bigger sniff. Yeah, it's definitely got that hoppy IPA. If my wife was here, she'd say catwee smell. It is that smell, a bit elderflowery. It doesn't smell like it looks at all. It looks like it should be a stout. I'm going in for the taste. A bit fruity. A bit hoppy. Well, not a bit, very hoppy. But the fruitiness comes first, then the hoppiness. This is such a strange beer because it doesn't taste anything like it looks. I mean, if you give me this blind, I would have said, oh yeah, it's a hoppy IPA. That's what I would have said, like West Coast style, something like that. It's nothing like that whatsoever. It's truly bizarre, but very nice. It's a good beer, a very nice beer. So yeah, there's no other information on the can really. This is quite an enigma. I mean, this is the enigmatic beer. So yeah, Aether Oaked Black, limited release. This is number 200, it says on there. Don't know what all that means, but yeah. Oh, there is a QR code that you can scan for tasting notes, but I'm not doing that. But if you wanted to, you could. Oh, but yeah, okay, well, look, it's a very good beer. I'm enjoying it. It is odd in the sense that I'm not getting from the taste what it looks like, but it's a great flavoured beer. And that's what matters, isn't it? So cheers, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the review. I'll catch you on the next one. Evening, folks, from the Aussie kitchen. I'm back with my final Queensland craft beer review, and this time I have got Black Flag Brewing Rage, a juicy pale ale. So let's find the marketing blurb on the can. What can I find? It says Eldorado, Azacat, Catra, bitterness 1.5, party scale 4 out of 4, sessionably strong at 6%. And this is brewed and canned by Black Flag Brewing, who are located in Coolum Beach in Queensland. So I don't know where that is, but it's quite a way out of Brizzy, I think, because the postcode is 4573, so it's probably up north somewhere. So Coolum Beach. So yeah, 6%. It's a juicy IPA. I'm expecting tons of hops and some citrusy type flavours with it. Anything else is a bonus. Let's just get in there. Yep, smells very fruity, very IPA, very hoppy. Everything I'd expect. Let's have a look what it looks like in the Bruegel. Nice colour. Nice medium straw colour. Good head. Let's have a look. There is, yeah, it's got a nice bit of haziness to it. So like a slightly hazy IPA. I can see a couple of things floating around in there, so that's flavour essentially, a bit of fruit matter or something else. But saison style bits and bats in there. Not tons, but I can see them. Right, let's have a sniff again. Big fruity smell actually, and tons of hops, but the fruit comes before the hops on the smell. That's nice, that's really nice. Okay, let's get into it. Smooth, that's nice. That went in a lot smoother. I got the smoothness and the fruitiness, and then the hops clawed at the end. And quite often when I have a beer like this, I do expect the hops to come last. That's nice, that's very, very good. It's a lovely, it is quite a sessionable flavour, to be honest. It's 6%, but you know, you could say to me it's 4.5, and it doesn't taste like a 6%. I could believe it was less than a 5 actually, so a dangerous one to drink. But yeah, this is a really good beer. So well done, Black Flag. This is a cracker, and I am going to say that I can't pick a favourite out of the ones that I've had. They've all been good. I can't compare. Do you know what? They're all different beers, and it would be unfair of me to compare them and try and pick a best, because it's down to my personal palate. You know, you can't take Grandmaster Flash and Mozart and say who was the best musician, because it's just completely different animals. And it's the same with the beers, essentially. They're completely different styles, and they're all quality. And I think the key takeaway to get from this film is that the Aussie craft beer scene is cracking, and the Queensland craft beer scene is cracking, definitely. I'm really, really, really liking what I've had here so far. I've had nothing which I think is a letdown. I've had a couple of things which I felt haven't been exactly as I expected them to be, but everything has been good. It's as good as anywhere else in the world that I've had craft beer. So, cheers Aussies. Long gone are the days of VB, and now we're into some good stuff. Right, catch you on the next film, folks, whatever that may be. Cheers.